Another one of my favorite trades are ES Strangles. What I've learned over the years, however, is you've got to be very careful in when you enter these. You want as high as VIX as possible in order to enter these trades. And I want to go, so I'm going to switch from the ES chart in just a second, but I entered this trade right here on July the 26th. It was the day before the Fed, which was on July 27th announcement, and I was concerned about entering this trade because of that. I knew that Fed announcement was going to come up, and I thought we would get a lot more volatility or an increase in the VIX after the announcement. The consensus was we were going to get a 3/4 point raise in the interest rate, but there was a possibility it could be a full point. If you look, as you look at the market trading, I think the market was figuring that we were going to get that 3/4. If so, then I would expect the market to have continued up, which is, you can tell us what it did after the announcement on the 27th that we were going to do a 3/4. Of course, when I entered the trade, I didn't know that. So there was a possibility it would be a full point. And if that had happened, the VIX would spike up a lot, which would make this trade very dangerous. So why did I enter it on the 26th? Well, let me show you. This was where the VIX popped up to on the 26th. And I enter these trades, I like to enter them as the VIX is moving up. I look at recent price action in the VIX, which you can see, this wave here. And I want to get it as high in this wave as I can. So from this point, I would be looking this area. Up in here, I would love to sell ES Strangles all day long with it trading anywhere over 30. But the VIX had been steadily coming down. I got a spike up on the 26, which was giving me some good premium on the ES Strangle. And I really wanted to try to enter it while I had this spike up, because I knew if we did get the 3/4 of a point interest rate hike, that the VIX was going to drop. And this is where I make my money on the ES Strangles, is either through time decay or a drop in the VIX. And I was really thinking I was going to get this drop in the VIX. The problem is, it was always possible that we would get the full point, or the Fed would say something in the notes afterwards that would cause VIX to really go up. So I had to make a decision of if I wanted to enter a trade, and if I did want to enter it, how many contracts. I always load the boat when I get VIXs anywhere over 30. I'll sell as many contracts as my account can afford. I have one account that's dedicated solely to ES Strangles. However, down here, with as high as the VIX has been from time to time, I was still really nervous about how many to enter. So what I decided to do, I'm going to bring up that screen for you. What I decided to do was just enter 2 contracts. Now you can ignore some of this writing down here on my trade sheet, because I don't always follow these rules anymore. Since I've started looking more toward the VIX, I don't always set my initial target at 50%. I do try to get the 20% profit, but I try to get it as quickly as possible. And I do like to sell about 30 to 45 days out, preferably closer to 45. I believe this one, if I remember correctly, on 9/2 was around 34 days out, I think. I was able to sell the 43.50 call and the 33.40 puts. They're about a 3 or 4 delta, which is typically what I look at. I only sold 2. Again, I was nervous that VIX was going to go up, so I didn't want to get too deep into it. Brought in the credit. This was the fee, my commissions for 14.50 credit on this Strangle. My intention was to hold it through the Fed meeting. However, if you notice right here, the day of the Fed, the market had already started spiking up even before the Fed announcement, which caused the VIX to really move down. So I found myself in a point where I had a $200 profit in less than a day. That's before commissions, that I could just close this trade and walk away with my $200 before the Fed meeting. And that's what I did. I ended up scalping this trade. Again, one day. I was only in the trade one day. Technically, it's a 334% return on 20,000 buying power. So how much it cost me to do this. So it was a perfect trade for me. Took my $200. Didn't have to worry about the Fed. As it turns out, I probably could have stayed in it and made a little bit more. However, if you look at what the ES did after, and it's keep continuing this push up, Well, it actually I would have started losing money because this is such a strong move up that it's getting close to these calls. So it turns out even though it did continue up, and even though the VIX did continue to drop, it was actually a really good thing that I closed it when I did and took my profit. So I took a $200 scalp in the ES, walked away, and didn't have to worry about the Fed meeting. Overall, it was a good trade. I'm looking for the VIX to come back up before I enter another one. I would love to see it at this point as I'm looking where the VIX is. I'm looking at price action. I'd love to see the VIX over 24. I don't know if I'll get that or not. I try to enter one of these trades, at least one a week. I'm usually in these ES trades 7 to 14 days if I enter it correctly. So hopefully it will come up here. If it doesn't come up here, I will evaluate whether or not I want to enter one with the VIX this low. I'm really reluctant to do that because we've had so much movement in the market lately, and if you look at where the ES is, it's just really extended. I mean, on your RSI, the short-term RSI, the medium-term RSI, and even the longer-term RSI, it's just really extended. You're at almost at you hit the 3 ATR Bollinger Band right here. You're over the outside Keltner channel, and it's really moved away from these moving averages. So I just really feel that this has got to pull back, and if it does, it will increase the VIX and give me a better opportunity. I'm hoping to get that this next week or so. If not, I'll probably wait because it's just there's a lot of overhead resistance here, and I would really enter it as the market moves down and I get an increase in the VIX. If you like this video, please go ahead and like it. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please put those in the comment section. Thanks.